Harrell. I'm music director at School of Rock in Charlotte. Today we're going to be learning some advanced piano techniques using the Beatles song She Loves You as an example. Let's go ahead and get started. First things first, if you have an electronic keyboard, you want to turn your power switch on, get your volume to where you like it, to where you can hear it. Or if you're on a piano, just flip up your desk cover and grab a seat, get comfy. While you're doing that, I'm going to grab a drink of water. Alrighty, so let's get started. So I'd like to start off by reviewing what a chord is. A chord is, a group of notes, usually 3 or more, that are stacked in thirds. So a third is always going to be 2 letter names away from the note you're starting on. So think about A, B, C. We have A, B, C, 2 letter names. A to C is the third, okay? So you could also have B, C, D. So B to D would be a third as well, and so on. So C, D, E, C to E would be a third as well. All right, so there are 2 types of thirds. There's major thirds, which are going to be 4 half steps or semitones away up from the note that you're starting on. So if we start on C, for example, and go 1, 2, 3, 4, that gives us a major third. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, not counting the root note. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 notes away. Okay, counting black keys always. And then for a minor third, what we're going to do is we're only going to have 3. So that's going to be 1, 2, 3. Yeah, and it's got more of like a somber sound. They usually kind of associate minor's key with sadness, just because it sounds a little more down. So major's happy, minor's sad. Okay. Most chords that you hear are going to be what are called triads. So a triad is a 3-note chord that's stacked in thirds. So, for example, I'll keep it in C. For example, that's a C major triad, okay? So that's going to be C, D, E, a major third, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we have 1, 2, 3, E, F, G, and that's going to take us to G. So we have major and then minor, okay? So you could also have a minor triad, which would be the reverse. It would be minor, or 1, 2, 3 to E flat, and then 1, 2, 3, 4 to the major. Okay, so that would be, make sure my screen is still going. Okay, so that would be a minor triad. Again, it sounds kind of sad. So major, minor. So take a second, try to play both of those triads really quick. I'm going to give you guys a minute. Major, C, E, G, and minor, C, E flat, and G. So there are also, diminished and augmented triads. You could have all minor or all major thirds, but those are less common. The Beatles do use them in some of their later songs, like, Because, and some of the more like jazzy and weird influenced ones. those use that a lot. So, but that's a lesson for another day. So now that we've reviewed how to play major and minor triads, let's learn how to play major and minor 7th chords. So in any scale or, octave, you've usually got 7 notes to choose from. So in C, you'd have C, D, E, F, G, A, B before you get to the next one. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So C is the root, D is the second, E is the third, F is the 4th, G is the 5th, A is the 6th, B is the 7th. Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And that just repeats after that. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Played that wrong, but you heard it right. So triads are basically going to be built on the 1st, the 3rd, and the 5th, right? Because you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 1, 3, 5. Okay? To make a major 7th chord, all you have to do, or to make any 7th chord, all you have to do is add another third on top of that. So that's going to be 2 thirds, right? We got this one and then this one, and then we're going to go up another third, G, A, B, and then we're going to play B and play those all together. So that's going to be C, E, G, B. Oh, sounds nice. Sounds like you're getting fanned by banana leaves on the moon and Kenny G's nowhere to be seen. So yeah, that's how you play a major. That's a C major 7th chord, and you'll see that like C, M, A, J, 7, so you know it's major. Or sometimes you might even see like a triangle, like C triangle. That's a pretty common way to put it. There's a couple different ways to do it, or sometimes just an uppercase M so that you know it's major. Yeah. So try playing that one real quick. That's going to be C, E, G, and B. And I usually do just all my fingers but ring finger because that's comfortable for me. But whatever you want to do. Okay. So yeah. So just like you have minor and major thirds, you also have minor and major sevenths. So that's a major 7. That's a minor 7, or sometimes called flat 7. Okay, so what happens if we do a major triad but with a minor 7th? We get this chord right here. Yeah, so that's called a dominant 7th. Or major minor 7th, because you got a major triad and a minor 7, you know. But most people call it a dominant 7th, and that is usually just indicated on a chart as C7. Everybody knows that. Jazz players, blues players, everybody knows that C7 or G7 or whatever chord you're playing, that means the dominant 7th. So that means a major triad with this minor 7th on top, okay? So try to play that one real quick. Same fingers. Sometimes it's comfortable to do ring finger with this one because the black key is higher up. Cool. Take a second to try that one. I'm going to grab some water. Let's take a minor triad and build some stuff on there. So the minor triad is C, E flat, and G, right? We got minor and major. So if we add a third on top of that, let's add a minor third on top of that, just because that fits, right? Minor triad, minor 7th. So that would be 1, 2, 3. Yeah. So it's C, E flat, G, and then B flat. Same fingerings you can use for the other ones. So we got a minor third, a major third, and then a minor third. Okay, so that's how you play a C minor 7th chord. And then the way that would be indicated on a page would be C lowercase m7 or sometimes C-7 so that you don't mix it up with major chords. So yeah, so there is also a minor major chord, which is really rare, but yeah, that one sounds kind of more like a James Bond type chord, you know? Oh, yeah. Kind of more mysterious and kind of scary. But the Beatles use that on something by George Harrison on that chorus. Don't believe it now. That part. You've got a minor triad. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then 1, 2, 3, 4. And then it moves down to a regular minor 7. So it's kind of usually used as a passing one. But anyway, that one's less common. The main 3 that we need to know today are major 7th chord, so that's C, E, G, B, and then minor 7th, and then also the dominant. Okay? So I'm going to now play a short excerpt from She Loves You, and the first 2 chords. This chord right here. So I want you guys to tell me or figure out what this second chord is. It's a type of 7th chord. Okay, so I'll leave my fingers on it. We got A, C sharp, E, and then G. So we have 3 options. It could either be minor, which is minor, major, minor thirds, or it could be a dominant 7th, which is a major triad with a minor third, or it could be a major 7th, which is major, minor, major. So take a second and think about what you think it is, okay? Okay, so the answer you should have come up with is that it is a dominant 7th chord, or just the 7 on the chart, right? So, because we got that major third, 1, 2, 3, 4. We got a minor third. So it's just a regular major triad first, but then we got 1, 2, 3 notes away. Makes it that dominant 7. So it's a major, minor, minor. Yeah. And so the reason they do that is it fits with the melody. They might not have even thought of doing that originally, but then they realized it fit with the melody and we're like, oh, let's play this chord under it. So it's that seventh is in that yeah, yeah, yeah the second time. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And then it goes to C. Yeah, 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 yeah. And then it, continues from there. So yeah, so that first chord in there goes E minor, and then it goes to an A7. Okay, so just A7. So you could play E minor just to A, but it's not quite as intense. You don't have that tension. Oh, yeah, so that's much better. Okay, so the next one, great job. So play those two chords back and forth. That's going to be the first two chords of the intro. All right, so the next one we're going to work on is the verse. It goes back to the G chord, or I guess we haven't done the G chord yet, so it's going to go, loves you, yeah, 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 she loves you, yeah, yeah, yeah. Then do a C, loves you, yeah, 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 yeah. And then we have a G chord to land on. And then the verse starts again with a G. Think you've lost your love. Now this chord right here is a type of seventh, so try to figure out what that would be. So we got E, G, B, and D. Remember, it can either be major seventh chord, minor seventh chord, or dominant seventh chord. So take a second to think about what you think it is. Try to play it too, that'd be good. Okay, so the answer you should have come up with is that it is a minor seventh chord. So it's going to be E to G is a minor third. 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's a minor triad, regular triad on the bottom. And then we got 1, 2, 3 on top. It's not a major one, not that mysterious jazzy James Bond one. It's the minor one. So we're going to call it an E minor 7 or E-7 on the page. So yeah, that's it. You she's thinking of. And the reason they did that is that's in the harmony that Paul or John, I think it's Paul, is singing that high one. You she's thinking of. So that's why they did that. Again, it follows the melody. So it can make your songs a little more lush and kind of magical sounding. That was one of the reasons the Beatles were so loved and why it sounds so like magical and crazy to people at the time was they used a lot of these advanced types of melodies and chords to make their songs more emotional. So it's really cool. So all right, I'm gonna give you one more. This one is kind of, we've gone over it a little bit, but at the end when it says love like that, you know you should be glad. With a love like that, you know you should be glad. With a love like that, you know you should be glad. Right here. I think you can probably already tell what it is. So it could either be a major seventh chord, minor seventh chord, or dominant seventh chord. So take a second to think about what you think it is. We've got G, B, D, and F sharp. Okay, so the answer you should have come up with is that it is a major seventh chord. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Regular major triad. 1, 2, 3, 4. And again, it's a passing tone. It's that yeah, yeah, yeah. And then they go down to the sixth. So octave, seventh, sixth. And follow that melody. So that's it. There is also a D dominant seventh in there. I'll give that away. With the love like that, you know you should be glad. That part. Sorry, I just sang that like Michael McDonald, but that's just how I roll. All right, so yeah, this, a lot of people say the Beatles didn't know music theory, and they would be like, George Martin, our producer, he knows it, so we tell him what to write down for the string players, whatever, and he does it. But they really did know, especially Paul and George. They might not have known how to read music, but they absolutely knew some of the core things that make music interesting and have tension and have that push and pull to make it more exciting. So they definitely knew music theory, even though they can't sight read or they can't, read music on a page. So so they were pretty amazing musicians. So I hope you guys carry some of this knowledge with you forward. And use it in Beatles songs or other songs or your own songs. I hope it serves you well. I personally love seventh chords. I think they make things much more interesting and emotional and give it a lot more texture. Thanks so much for watching this video today. I hope you learned something. Keep practicing. You can watch this video as many times as you need to this week if anything didn't make sense the first time. Also, if you have any questions, feel free to ask your camp directors and they can help you. Have a great day.